The king is ready.
You guys good?
Oh, you guys can smile, Jesus.
Well, Henry, I guess this is the last time.
No, the former king.
Well, Henry, this is going to be the last time we'll really get to talk to you in a setting like this. So I know we talked to you yesterday, but now that fight week has begun, are you kind of taking a little bit of it in? Like, this is the last time I'm going to have to do partner, the last time I have to do media day. Has any of that kind of set in to you?
I guess it's more of what I talked about yesterday, just more of that gratitude, more of the people that fly out, even you guys, even the fact that you guys take time out of your busy schedule. A lot of you guys are probably fathers, and is there a woman? No, mothers maybe, or whatever that may be. Just the time that you guys keep, the time that you guys give back to the sport, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so even with you guys, man. So I think it's been more of just that gratitude side, like knowing that your coaches leave for, a week at a time to go watch you perform, training partners from different parts of the world, like what they do. I think it's more of that. So if anything, I guess I appreciate it. Whether you guys take whatever I say and spin it or do whatever, I appreciate all of it.
We never do that. Never. How would you compare this kind of retirement run to the Olympic one and then your last one in the UFC?
Yeah, I think, and I was talking to Daniel about this. Like, I'm not that type of guy. Like, what I've learned about me is I'm an ultimate competitor, but even more so than a competitor, I like to conquer. Like, I'm a conqueror. Like, I'm able to just move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I conquer it, I move on. Like, I do that. I did that with wrestling. Never really missed it, even though it was like my first love. And then I did it with combat sports, and I knew that once I defended that second belt, I was like, all right, man, it's time for me to leave on top, so that's kind of how it is, man. That's what I've learned about me is I can move on, bro. So I don't think I'm your typical guy to maybe ask some of these questions, dude.
Payton was in here, and he said that when he was watching your fight against Song, he thought maybe you would retire after that one, and then after the eye poke, he was really disappointed because he thought you should go out on a win, and now he has to stand in the way of that. So what do you make of his attitude towards this fight?
Yeah, he's because I had Payton to come out and which says a lot about him, dude. Like he came out to legit learn from me. For a few days. We had a chance to kind of and we talked about techniques, watch video, talk about the theatrics. I've always told Payton, he shouldn't. I was like, I want you to take over the king of cringe, dude. I said, you got the hair, you got that dot on your front and back. And like, just go straight, NWA. But obviously, everybody has their own style. But that could have been. And the fact that the fight ended the way it ended, like, I had even contemplated just calling it quits, but I didn't want to end it like that. Like I want to end it with a fair shake. Me first of all having an even playing field, and just fighting.
He was in here and he said that there's nothing you've done that he felt cringe over because it's very hard to make him feel cringe, except he's very confused by your relationship with Moneyberg, and he said stay away from that guy. So I guess. He's there.
Nah, I think, dude, Derek Moneyberg's a good dude, man. If you talk to Randy Couture and to a lot of these people that know him, because he also gives me a lot of business advice. Like, dude, if you're making that type of money in stocks, bro, like, numbers don't lie. Call him what you want to call him. The dude works. Jake Shields is his jiu-jitsu coach. But what I could say whenever we do go out and train, because he's a good friend of mine. I consider Derek a good friend, man. Like he's legit when it giving advice and things like that. The black belt stuff that you guys may want to talk about, like that's between him and Jake Shields. That's between him and his personal coach, and that's between them.
And I have to.
But I personally think Payton would actually like D Money.
I'm sure.
You got to give everybody a shot, Payton.
And then I have to ask, because you brought it up yesterday too, Brandon Moreno was just in here, and he said he saw that interview we did yesterday, and he was a little confused because he thought that rivalry was in the past, and if he saw you, he would shake your hand and wish you well moving forward. So is that someone that you still want to fight?
Yeah, and he's probably right. I was probably just in on one yesterday, and maybe we'll shake hands. I think we're linking up. I think tomorrow, so I think we can talk, man. I don't think we really had a chance to really sit down and actually, maybe the day will come. But the way that I took it, I've always thought that rivalry, that fight would have been great. He denied me a couple of times, even before I was champion. When everything happened between us, I wanted to fight him. The UFC was trying to make that fight between me and him. They're trying to make the fight between me and Brandon, but he chose Sergio Perez in Mexico City. And I went up to him personally at the UFC retreat at that time. And I was like, hey man, let's fight. As a big brother, that's kind of how I felt to him. I was like, no. I think we ended in the most political way, and we fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still a bit heated, but no, it's gone, bro. He's probably right. Dude, I'm dehydrated, bro. I'm hungry. Yeah. I'm over it. Maybe we'll. Sorry, Brandon.
And then just last one for me. A lot of other athletes that they announce their retirement and then they do retire. They say they want to leave the sport in a better place than it was when they entered. Do you feel that you've left the sport or made changes to the sport and it's in a better place than when you started?
Oh, of course. I mean, who saved an entire division from extinction? I mean, even if you think of that, like, thanks to the Triple C, thanks to the gimmick, the persona, the sport, the weight class was able to elevate. And I think that's one of the things that I'm probably the most proud of, is legit going for it, despite the outcome. Like, there's no ego, there's no pride. Like, whatever the outcome was, I gave what I had, and to the highest levels, whether in the promoting aspect of it, and also the fighting aspect of it.
Henry, I just wanted to know kind of like your mindset and just like the emotions. Like, you're so used to winning, you've won in everything, and then you leave the sport in the middle of your prime. You come back and you haven't won since you've come back, right? So how has that like affected you?
That's probably why I'm retiring. But not really. I think somebody brought it up to me. It's like, I came back, 3-year layoff. I lost to Aljamain Sterling, split decision, which I don't know how the hell I lost that 5th. I really fucking don't, man. Like, Derek Cleary, dude, I hope he ain't a judge, dude. Jesus, man. And then obviously I lost to the current champ, who is Marab, but look what he's doing. At least I won a round from him, and I fought him with the torn groin, and then I get poked in the eye. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think the diehards, people that really do know everything, like, understand my position. But at the same time, there's so much to this decision of why this is the last. I mean, there's just a lot. I can't serve 2 masters. I'm in real estate, the content business. And I do a pretty good job with all that. And, the Triple C before was just dedicated, had no kids, single, young, wild, and doing my thing, where it was just dedicated 100% to the sport. And, if I can't be the best in the world, then to me, then why do it?
And obviously, you're fighting because you want to go out on a win, right? So, like, say you lose a split decision to Payton Talbott, like, is that going to hit the ego for you to be like, dude, I have to win before I hang it up?
No, the only thing that you can guarantee is your all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds very cliche, like these little baseball coaches that say, hey, it doesn't matter as long as you give it your all. And that's it, as long as you give it your all. I know what I'm up against. I know Payton's rule recognizes rule. I saw talent in that dude, but it's also, there's that competitive spirit in me that's, all right, man, give me the biggest challenge, give me the toughest challenge, give me whoever the hell you want. Like, I love to compete, especially for my last one, throwing out the kitchen sink.
Speaking of seeing talent, how is it having Daniel Zahuber over in Arizona with you guys?
Oh, it's great, man. And that's one of the biggest things that I like to do is, I guess the biggest influence that I do have is having the ability to give back to these fighters. So even part of like my retirement, what I do want to do is I want to educate a lot of these legends, particularly the legends. I'll never forget it, winning the Olympic Games, and my coach, who was an Olympic champion as well, he says, Henry, welcome to the Olympic Championship Club. Kevin Jackson, who actually fought in the UFC as well. And he's like, your job now is to take care of other Olympic champions. So I almost feel like that's my duty, teaching them sales, teaching them marketing, branding, following up with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, not be so, hey, give me this and I'll give you this. Like, actually building a relationship. So I've been able to do that, and I feel comfortable, man. Like, I just purchased a $1.3 million lot, just a lot, to build my dream home. So I've been able to really, so forget whatever Sean O'Methley says, I've been able to make a really good living, to make really good decisions, but I think now it's time to pay it forward. And not just that, we talked about it a little bit yesterday on, the eye pokes, like going through that. Like, and I did say, and I think Dana and everybody needs to step up. We need the president to really put a meeting together and see what could be done, like, as soon as possible, ASAP. That way nobody loses an eye, so a lot of things like that, man.
One last one for me is, what are your thoughts on this Real American Freestyle thing that's going on, and are you going to get back on the mats?
I love it. I don't want to be asked when my next fight. I'm going to say goodbye. You're asking me. But I love it. What Real American Freestyle is doing, the opportunity that they're giving to all these wrestlers is amazing. What Chad and Izzy Martinez are doing, it's awesome, bro. Did you watch the last show? Spencer Lee, Olympic silver medalist, gets upset. You saw Jordan Oliver beat, the current world team member. Like, bro, anything could happen, man. Like, you think there's levels until people are being put in the spot and people are eating popcorn and drinking and whatnot. That it changes the whole atmosphere. So I love it. You are Romero versus Bo Nickel.
Who wins that?
I just wanted to do that. But I think Bo Nickel.
Henry, you.
I like Yoel, man. Yoel was one of my heroes, man, growing up. But dude, with the youth, I don't know, man. I wouldn't count out Yoel because, man, he's an athlete. He's a specimen, dude.
Henry, you mentioned you've made a lot of good decisions, especially with money and things like that. When people are going to talk about your career and look back and maybe point out questionable decisions.
I thought you were going to say Moneybird. You said money?
No. But, why the decisions maybe people will see as questionable is the timing of your first retirement. Now that you look back and, that's going to be a big discussion point around your career, do you have regrets for that moment? Do you think it was, something that was done at the wrong time? How do you look back at that and how it impacted everything?
Every fighter wants to leave on top. Look at John Jones. He got offered $30 million. And I remember I talked to him for like a good 40 minutes, like right before he was kind of making his decision. Like, we're legit on the phone. I'm like, John, and one of the things that I did tell him was like, John, if I could tell you something, bro, if you're happy and you don't necessarily need the money, stay on top. Like, there's no need. Why? You lose one fight for people to troll you? Like, leave on top, man. There's something special about it. For that, even if it's $30 million. So we're legit. I was like, John, you can make so much more money out of the game if you play your cards right. And I told him, like, link up with Shaquille O'Neal. Talk to him. Let him mentor you. Like, how Shaquille O'Neal was able to use his likeness to get equity from these different businesses and actually make money. To where he's made more money, in business than he did it on the actual basketball court. So these are some of the things that I'm kind of talking about. And obviously, I'm not at that scale just yet, but that's where I would like to take it with a lot of these athletes, and particularly the ones that are lost a little bit. Like, you talk about Zell Huber, like, yeah, man, just one conversation, come out, do the whole thing. He's like, damn, Henry, you're right. Like, I'm moving here. Like, I'm officially making that permanent move. So to me, it's freaking cool.
So I guess why did you come back then if you felt like you were leaving on top at that point?
Family. A legacy, a family over legacy, man. Like, I want my kids to be able to have just a better life than I did. I didn't need to, too, because I was making money, really good money, but I'm just, this is the fastest way to make it. And if my goal is this now, then this is what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? So, it all goes back to it all goes back to what can I do for my kids and how can they be better, and protect. It's so that's what it was, quite honestly. So if you ask me, what do you regret? Probably maybe even coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a specialness to it. Like even in wrestling, like I regretted coming back because I knew that I gave everything that I had in the sport so much that I legit started to hate it. Do you imagine being at the Olympic Games and you're like, dude, this is it. What if I don't win? You know what I'm saying? Like all these things are kind of running to your mind, and then you win. You're like, all right, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like goodbye, and I meant that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I go back to what I was saying earlier, is being a conqueror. You know what I'm saying? Like to a lot of people, oh, he still has it. Like Captain Eric's trying to get me to fight 10 more times, but he's not in me. He doesn't understand that because I still have that ability. But to me, it's there's a time and place, and plus I got 2 kids too. That I don't want to put that fear in them, like knowing that their dad is fighting. You know what I'm saying? That when I was a little kid, I remember that I didn't live in like the best neighborhoods. It's probably the worst neighborhood. But I remember seeing like these gang members fight. Like I was maybe about 7, 8, 9. I didn't want to leave, but I remember that my heart pumping. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that. I don't want that for my kids, particularly right now.
Yeah, and that all seems very sincere, and I believe this is your intention, but you know how the fans in this sport work. You say your statements yesterday, and all the comments are like, he said this before, it's not actually true, like he's going to come back. What would you say to the doubter?
I think Dana would cut me, dude, after this. so this is real.
Yeah. Henry, just one kind of relating back to you, mentoring guys and like helping them out to be better, with their career and money-wise. Raul Rosas Jr. was recently on a podcast, and he admitted that he spent $20,000 in, I think, 2 weeks. What would you think about when you hear something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I hope he learned his lesson. You're not rich with 20 G's, but you got to make those right decisions, man. Like, you have to, because time flies, man. Those watches, all that other stuff, them cars, like you just got to think of the future. And I think because I was raised so humble, like I was a kid, man, that went home starving. Like I'm one of 7 kids, man, raised by a single mother. And on top of that, at one point we lived with like Cuban refugees. Like, bro, no furniture, no food, like the whole 9. Like I understood the true meaning of what it's like to survive, So when I see stuff like that, I just don't feel like they lived through it to really understand it. So I think it's something more that's engraved in me that I just can't answer that. But he's gotta be careful. And plus he's young though. He's what is he, 20? Go ahead. I mean he's got time to kind of spoil and mess around if he wants to. There's gonna come a point where he's gonna have to really start buying land. Start doing other things to build passive income.
I was just wondering, have you thought ahead to when you're, sitting on a porch as an old man talking to your grandkids? Do you talk about your journey to Olympic gold or UFC gold first? Which story maybe you're more proud of?
The Olympics. The Olympics. Like you guys will probably agree now. I mean, look at who's getting opportunities to fight for a belt. That stuff does not exist in the Olympics. You're in a 16-man bracket. You don't know who the hell you're going to wrestle until the next day when they put the brackets out. So if you're truly the best in the world, okay, show it. Sometimes I feel like that's not the case here. And I'm very proud of becoming a 2-division champ, but doing something in the sport of wrestling, like I prefer being called an Olympic champ than a UFC champ, like 100%, because of what the sport has taught me, dude. It's not the actual, like everything from just life, dude. The humbleness, like going overseas and losing to some dude that you don't even know, dude that's unheard of, but that is really good at wrestling.
Henry, right here, you mentioned your kids a couple times, and I wanted to ask, for daughter, probably no, but for your son Enzo, would you want him to compete in any sport, or you don't want him any close to any kind of sport?
Oh, to the death. No, that's gonna be them. That's gonna be on them. I'm not that crazy dad. But what I do like doing is I do like playing with my kids a lot to make them athletes. So you know what I'm saying? Like I do, like they don't know it, but I'm playing too. I'm dropping them. They're doing this. They're constantly getting up. Little do they know I'm trying to build the athletes. But whatever they decide to, I would love for them to wrestle. That's something that I would like, but that's not up to me. I'm not hanging my hat on that. You know what I'm saying? So, but if they decide to one day, I have a little niche right now that's wrestling. I'm sorry, that's fighting. And she's Genesis Cejudo. She is 1-0, man. She looks so good. She looked a lot better than me in my debut. So I guess the legacy continues.
Henry, congrats on the career. Obviously, you mentioned earlier, you know, giving back to legends and Olympic champions. But do you think we could expect to see you maybe put some work in with your brother Angel and the great things he's doing over at Valiant?
Yeah, my brother's one of the persons that I admire my brother Angel more than anybody in this world, dude. I've always, even when I was a kid, man, I wanted to be more like him, dude. He was a guy that was always likable. I wasn't. Kind of like now. But just his precious heart, his patience to be able to give back to the sport and then create national champions. I mean, the majority of his kids are all going to Division I. I mean, shows how cerebral, how much of a genius that he is. And he's not like me, dude. Like he's, get the camera away, I don't want nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jeans, shirt, like, so. But yeah, of course, man. I have a nephew right now too, Pablito. Angel Jr., we call him Pablito. He won the toughest tournament in the United States. And it was so cool, man, to be able to see the plan that me and my brother had. Started wrestling him at 11. You know, within a few years becomes the #1 in the country. Because we did that. And I think sometimes coaches, they put their kids in the sport a little too soon, where they end up hating it. And that's where you got to be careful. You know, but we're able to do that, have my nephew be around the sport. You don't compete till you're about 11, bro. And if you want to do it, and then once he said, yeah, I want to do it, it ended up happening. So it's pretty cool, man. Right now he's being recruited by Penn State too. Like the biggest, you know, dude, I'm stoked, man. Whatever he decides to do, like we're going to be there.
Henry, nomás una en español. Felicidades con el retiro. Una grande pelea el sábado y obviamente lo hablaste un poco en inglés, nomás por favor en español.
Sí, creo que
Lo más orgulloso que estás en tu legado. Mencionaste ser campeón olímpico, más grande que ser campeón en el octágono. Y nomás unas palabras para despedir a tus fans.
Just basically in Spanish, this same concept. You mentioned that you were prouder to be an Olympic champion than be an UFC champion. Just echo the feeling in Spanish for everybody.
Yeah, primeramente, la razón por qué digo eso es por la razón de en las artes marciales mixtas, a veces les dan oportunidad a los que no se la merecen. Y yo creo que ustedes saben eso. Yo no quiero, it's my last fight anyway, I'm saying like, so I can tell the truth. There's a lot of people undeserving that get titles. Hay mucha gente que no se merece ese título mundial, especialmente para competir. En las Olimpiadas hay 16 luchadores que entran, los mejores del mundo, que entran y tú no sabes con quién vas a luchar hasta el próximo día. So, para tú coronarte como el mejor del mundo en el deporte más viejo en la historia, para mí eso significa mucho más, mucho más. A mí me da más gracia cuando un luchador me viene y dice, hey, eres campeón olímpico. Para mí eso significa mucho más para mí que la UFC, porque yo desde niño chiquito, la verdad fue un sueño hacerme campeón olímpico. Y cuando lo logré, fue algo que ni se puede escribir en palabras.
Just to add on to what was said in English, he mentioned the fact that it is the oldest sport to date, and I'm very proud about that, and the fact that it was my dream since I was a little kid to be that. And you cannot describe it in words. That's what's added from the English previous answer.
¿Y mi español cómo está? ¿Está bien?
Fenomenal.
¿Tengo el acento?
Gracias por todo. Felicidades y suerte el sábado.
Sí, muchas gracias. Thank you guys so much. Triple C is out!